kad se sjetim Srebrenice, pa mi suza kvasi lice, kad se sjetim Srebrenice. Svaka zora kad mi svane, ja pomislim na mezare, pa mi suza kvasi lice, kad se sjetim Srebrenice, pa mi suza kvasi lice, kad se sjetim Srebrenice.
And mass killing. Please, brother.
First of all, I want to say hello, everybody, and I didn't have planned to say anything today because I'm tired, and today is a very sad moment for us, all of us who survived the genocide here, and difficult moments, especially for those who bury their mamas, their loved ones. What to say? I'm just one of only few those who survived mass executions in July 1995. There are few of us who survived mass executions at the time. I hope you can hear me. At the time I was a 17-year-old boy, and I was taken at the execution site, and I survived, but I shortly explain how it was. We were loaded on the trucks, and we were taken around 70 kilometers far from here, in the near the town of Srebrenica, and all the mass executions took place there mainly. I remember that on the trucks were many of my school friends, my relatives, and my neighbors, and but before that I lost my father in the mass of people, and because of shelling and bombardment, and I just remember that I was trying to find him, to call him, but I just remember I was crying, and in one moment I found myself in the mass of people. I didn't know anyone. I just wanted to ask someone to help me, but everyone wanted to escape because the situation was very dangerous. And it is a long story, of course, yeah. And after that, we were loaded on the trucks and arrived in one school. We were present in one school, in one village near town of Srebrenica. And as soon as night fell, they started with the killing. No one could believe that they could kill all of us. I cannot imagine that day, because it's very difficult to understand. But they had a clear plan for us, and everything was ready, including schools and rooms, mass graves, and machinery for to dig and load the dead bodies on the trucks. I remember that I was there in school in a last classroom on the first floor, and all the time I could hear a gunfire, constant gunfire outside in the school hall, in the corridor, and I could hear screaming and voices, and somewhere around midnight it was my turn, and I just remember that soldiers came there and said us to prepare, because Red Cross should arrive to register us for exchange. But it wasn't true. They just wanted to home us, to prepare us for killing, in fact. And but before that, someone was trying to someone tried to open the window because we left without oxygen. It was July and very hot inside, and but they opened the gunfire, and many people were wounded, and they were crying. And I remember one of my neighbors was hit in the neck, and he was bleeding and crying, but we couldn't help him. And then came midnight, and I found my uncle there in the classroom, and I asked him to get out together, but he refused. He was unwilling to get out with me. He said no, and he stayed behind. And I remember when I was in the hall, the soldiers were waiting for us there, and they ordered us to take off our clothes to the waist, to take off our shoes, and they tied our hands in my back, and pushed me in the next classroom, and all the time they were doing that, and when they finished that, they ordered us to leave the school. But in the next classroom, I noticed my school friends as well with their hands in the back, because it was a very sad moment for me, and I noticed the clothes and the shoes left behind people who had already left. And after that, the column is going outside of the school, and in the hall something was sticky underneath my feet. In fact, it was a human bloody, and but I just walking in this way, and at that moment I realized it was the end. But leaving the school, I saw the piles and piles of dead bodies on the left and on the right side in the front of the main door. But they didn't kill us in front of the school. They loaded us on the truck and started the fire, and the people were screaming, and soon after that, in 5 or 10 minutes, the truck arrived on the place for mass execution. And on that place, all the time I could hear gunfire outside, and at that moment I was until then I was on my knee, but in a moment I was on my legs, and I remember when they opened the last part of the truck, I noticed 3 soldiers in the silhouettes of the soldiers there, and they said to us to leave the truck, to get out in groups of 5. And in one moment I noticed that someone was untied behind me. In fact, one man managed to untie himself and asked me, "Do you want to untie you as well?" But I refused. I said, "No. And anyway, I would be killed anyway." And he jumped out and pushed the soldiers, but he was killed on the spot there. And I was trying to hide behind others, and everybody did the same, and probably to live a few more seconds. And when there was no more place for hiding, I jumped out, and they said to us to find a place. I didn't know what place at that moment, but when I reached the area, I saw rows and rows of dead bodies in front of me. It was midnight, but maybe it was moonlight or some sort of light from somewhere was coming. I don't know what, but I noticed that lines and lines of dead body in front of me, and At that moment I just wanted to have a drop of water because I was without water for days, for many days, and really I was sorry to die thirsty, and I thought that I would die fast without suffering, without anything, and I just thought that my mother would never know where I finished. And I don't know when I was hit, but probably I was shocked. I just remember later that I was lying on my stomach and I was trembling and shivering, and bullets were hitting everywhere around me, and I was waiting for next one to come and hit me. And I felt a sharp pain in my stomach and my right arm. In fact, I was hit with one bullet here. At that moment I didn't know, but I just felt sharp pain, and with 3 bullets I was hit here without damaging my vital organs. All the time I could see people were falling down on my right side, and later when they put the next line behind me, one bullet hit my left foot. At that moment I just wanted to die because I was suffering, and I was saying to myself, oh my God, why don't I die? And all the time I could hear voices of the people screaming, death rattles and everything around me. And in one moment, one Serb soldiers, probably their commander, said to others to check all the bodies, and he said if there is anyone with warm body, you should give him 1 bullet more. But he refused. He said, motherfuckers, they are already dead. And in one moment I just noticed military bullets in front of my eyes, and I closed my eyes waiting to kill me. I thought he came to finish with me, but he killed the guy beside me who was so loud. Less and less voices I could hear later, and in one moment I couldn't hear anything except their smiling and their enjoying in our suffering, and it is so awful. I thought to call him to kill me, but I didn't dare to call him to kill me, and I was bleeding at that moment. I never could imagine that I could survive because it wasn't possible. And later they started with the truck. They started the engine and left the place, and I didn't hear voices. I thought I could be pushed in the mass grave, and in that way my suffering would be prolonged, but I stay in that position waiting to die. And in one moment I was trying to turn my head on the left because it was sharp. Stones underneath my face, and I just wanted to make my head more comfortable to die easier. And in that moment I noticed that someone was moving in front of me, and it was other survivor. And I asked him, are you alive? Are you alive? He said, yes, come tie me, please. But I didn't have strength to move, but he insisted, and in some way we managed to untie each other before the next truck arrived there, and we hid in the bushes near the plateau, near the place, and they came there and kept killing again. And after that, days of suffering came because we didn't know where to go at that moment. We were taken there, but that area wasn't familiar with us, and we knew that we should go somewhere, but we didn't know where. And everywhere Serb soldiers patrolled, and they could catch us, but we slept in the bushes, in the Orthodox graveyards, in the destroyed houses, and I remember that I asked him to leave me and to try to save himself, because there wasn't a possibility for both of us to survive. But he was a courageous man, and he insisted and asked me and begged me, please stand one day more, because probably he couldn't survive alone. Physically, maybe yes, but psychically, mentally, probably not. And later we arrived in one village, Muslim village, under Bosnian government control. By accident, we heard people talk at that moment about Srebrenica and about the tragedy of our people at that moment. It is unbelievable. But when we reached them and they looked at us, they ran away because they were frightened, because we were dirty and bloody and black, and later I don't know how I was finished there. Probably, maybe I lost my consciousness, I don't know. But I just remember that I was lying beside one house, and so many women, men, and children around me. They are crying, and they are pouring water in my mouth. At the time, I started to cry. In fact, when I realized that I survived, and in fact what I survived. At that moment, I thought that my father survived, but unfortunately not. He was killed on other location for mass killing. My uncle killed as well, and other my uncles also, and other my distant and close relatives who decided to come here to the base. Some of them tried to take shelter here. So whether we tried to reach the Tuzla territory through the woods, over the mountains, whether we tried to came here to find shelter in the UN base, whether we tried to go over Drina River, which is not far from here, it wasn't matter really. We just had one right to be killed, and it was so. And after that, my family lived, my mother and 3 younger sisters. They survived, and they reported from here because they came here to the base. Later they found me, and at the time my family was on the edge of catastrophe in every sense, morally, financially, materially, mentally, because it is difficult when you lose one member of your family, but in one day when you lose so many members of your family. But somehow I managed to recover. It took months and months, and after that I finished my school, my faculty, and but without support of my state, because Bosnia was a poor country, and there are so many victims everywhere and refugees. But my mother helped me, and although without education, because she was a woman from a village, but she was the best psychiatrist for me, and helped me to always succeed to find balance, and she helped us to finish schools and faculties, all of us, sisters and me. But unfortunately, my sisters lived in other cities in Bosnia, but me, I decided to return here 12 years after the genocide. Of course, because it wasn't normal to come here, to return here after all. And 1 year was a very difficult period of my life to live here, but later I met my girl and later wife, and today we have 3 small daughters here. And, but I have to admit it is not easy to raise your children here, because everywhere you have hatred and denial of genocide and everything, because during the war they wanted our extermination from here, but now they don't want us here in any way. But yeah, maybe for you Srebrenica is history in the past, but our is life, and we fight everywhere against injustice huge.